Hello, my name is Alden Dimmick, and the company I've chosen to focus on for the final project is L.L.Bean. And I'm going to be specifically focusing on their most popular product, which is their main hunting shoe, or as we know it today, the Bean Boot. So, for this presentation, I've created a brief agenda. First, I'll be going over the company L.L.Bean itself, talking about the different products that they provide, giving a brief financial overview of the company, as well as comparing them to some of their biggest competitors in the marketplace. Then I'll be diving into L.L.Bean's green mission, so talking a little bit about some of the initiatives that are going on currently for the company, and also talking a little bit about some of their future plans for green initiatives. Then I'll be diving into a CSR scorecard where I'll be breaking down the company on a grading system in four different categories, being human rights, water usage, recycling, and energy usage. Then I'll be diving into the overall product focus, which is the bean boots, and I'll be going over a product life cycle of the bean boots and how we can better improve this product and their marketing for the product. Then I'll be going into the future goals for the company, and finally my proposal of the company and how they can continue their green initiatives. So, for a brief company overview, L.L.Bean is a US based retail company that focuses on making products meant for the outdoors. It was founded by Leon Leonwood in 1912, and the company began operating with one singular product, and it's arguably being what they're most well known for. Their iconic bean boot, also known as the duck boot or the Maine hunting boot, was designed to keep your feet dry during hunting trips in Maine's wet forests, as well as warm during the harsh winters of Maine. Their flagship store and headquarters is located in Freeport, Maine, which is part of the reason why I chose the company. As I grew up in Gorham, Maine, which is only about 35 minutes away, and my mom also started working at the employee store part-time about 2 years ago. And ever since she started working there, they've offered amazing discounts and benefits. And then this has allowed me to be able to own multiple different L.L.Bean products that I love and use on a day-to-day basis. So since first starting as a small mail-to-order business selling strictly hunting boots, they've grown the company into a nationally recognized retailer with over 50 retail stores in the United States and Canada, with also some stores in Japan. They also have a strong presence in e-commerce through their website, which typically offers different discounts for purchasing online, like their new footwear try-on event. And this is offering free shipping and free returns on all footwear. So if you order a product through their website, for shoes. Let's say I want to buy a pair of bean boots to just try them on. I try them on, and let's say I don't like them necessarily. I can send that back to L.L.Bean and get all of my money back, which I think is a great service. They also have an exceptional customer service policy and a very generous return policy, as you can see through their new promotion on their website. So L.L.Bean has always been a company that places high value on the overall well-being of their employees as well. Also being very involved in different community engagement initiatives and also environmental protection initiatives as well. And this really ties into the focus of this presentation. And so for a company that's synonymous with the outdoors, protecting the environment isn't just corporate social responsibility. It's really imperative of their brand's mission, which is creating high quality outdoor gear and clothing. So evolving these products and their packaging, along with working with partners that they choose to work with, all help reduce their environmental impact and encourages green initiatives overall. So for L.L.Bean, I'll be focusing on the bean boots and how they're made, marketed, and recycled. As L.L.Bean's been making an effort towards transitioning to more eco-friendly materials such as recycled polyester, organic cotton, and Blue Signed approved fabrics, and these are produced with reduced environmental impact. and also just the overall durability of their products, which all help them lower the company's carbon footprint. So for the supply chain, LL Bean works with multiple different suppliers, with some even being international. So monitoring the ethical labor practices and environmental impact through the supply chain is really crucial for LL Bean. And as we've seen in the past, this is a huge issue for certain companies such as Nike and Adidas. So LL Bean has an in-house specialized global monitoring team that works alongside third-party auditors to make sure that this doesn't happen in any of their factories across the globe. The company also strictly enforces a zero tolerance policy on forced labor, including a decision to remove all Chinese cotton from its products in 2020. All factories also must meet L.L. Bean's manufacturer code of conduct, which outlines the company's expectations for environmental practices, ethical labor, and product quality. L.L. Bean has also just recently published a list of all of its manufacturing partners to show transparency and accountability, as well as working with the global organizations like the United Nations affiliated Better Work program that supports fair wages, and also good working conditions and long-term supplier relationships. However, as I've dove deeper into this reporting, I've realized that a lot of this information isn't as public as it should be, and I really had to dig in order to find this information, which is another part of the project as well, which I'll tie in at the end. So now diving into some of the different products that L.L. Bean has to offer. And as you can tell, there's a lot of products that they have to offer, and I don't even have them all listed on the slide. But starting first with their footwear, which is the main point of this presentation for their Bean boots, which is definitely the most popular shoe that they have and product overall. But other than just the Bean boots, they also have different hiking boots, everyday shoes, as well as slippers. Going next into the apparel, they have an apparel collection that goes from sweaters to base layers, socks, basically any kind of clothing that you might want, they definitely have. Going further into that, they also have great coats and jackets, especially different down jackets and parkas. These are consistently top sellers for L.L. Bean's product line, as this outerwear is really built for real weather conditions in Maine, which we know has some very harsh winters, and is also designed to withstand cold climates while also remaining functional and comfortable. So next, going into their outdoor equipment, L.L. Bean's also been a great producer of different outdoor camping equipment, such as things like tents, sleeping bags, backpacks, and other sort of camping essentials that are, again, really designed for durability and reliability. Next, going into their home goods, at the flagship store, they actually have a specific store dedicated to the home goods. So designing your house, different flannel sheets, different comforters, anything that you could think of that you'd want to put in your house, L.L. Bean has thought of and is making a product for it. So this could, again, mean things like rugs, storage, bedding, and then these items really follow that same philosophy that the other products go for, which is for them to be durable and meant to last. Next, going into their down jackets, which I have a few down jackets, and they keep me extremely warm, especially here in Plymouth where there's a lot of wind. So these products really are just awesome. And these are really, again, well known for the insulation, like I said. And so I really just love these products specifically. Next, going into their different flannel shirts. I'm sure a lot of people, when they think of Maine and L.L. Bean in general, they think of guy in bean boots, jeans, and a flannel. And that's why the flannel shirts are one of their top sellers. It's just a timeless classic that, again, uses those same values as the other products, which is that functionability, durability, and also overall quality. So next, going into their backpacks, this is honestly another big bestseller for them, as I personally have a backpack from L.L.Bean, and I know that uh, it's big, especially with the young students, as they offer different embroidering backpack opportunities where you can put your initials on the backpack. So I know I had one of those as a kid as well. So that's another bestseller for them. Then going into their tents and their sleeping bags. Again, this just goes into the outdoor equipment for camping. Again, meant to be durable and reliable. Then going into the brand's focus. Like I've stated before, each product is supposed to be functional, durable, designed well, with quality, also being reliable and timeless. And this is because the brand really wants to focus on reducing their environmental impact, so they want to create products that are really meant to last. So now doing a financial overview. So L.L.Bean is still a privately held company and is also family owned. And this means they aren't required to publicly release their detailed financial statements like other publicly traded brands or Fortune 500 companies. And even without full transparency, we know the company consistently reports a solid annual revenue. And this is typically within the 1.5 to 1.8 billion range. And last year in 2024, they actually received $1.7 billion in revenue, with 60% of that revenue being gained online. Their financial stability is largely driven by the core categories that I said before, being their boots, outerwear, flannels, outdoor gear, and home goods. And then these are products that perform well year after year. So they really haven't changed their products very much. And then this just kind of goes into their whole brand's identity of durable and reliable clothing and products. So because their revenue stream is super stable and predictable, they're in a strong position to invest in longer term CSR initiatives without really risking their short term financial disruption, as the company's consistently getting within the 1.5 to 1.8 billion range for revenue. So the durability of their products really supports their business model, like I said before, because consumers will trust the brand and keep coming back for higher priced clothing, as they know that it'll be long lasting. So at the same time, the competition for these sorts of outdoor apparel gears that provide uh, reliable and durable clothing has really increased, especially from brands that front loads sustainability in their marketing initiatives, such as Patagonia, Timberland, and North Face. And without really updating their transparency and green initiative practices, L.L.Bean's really risking losing younger consumers who really want clear, accountable, and transparent information on different CSR initiatives. So, from a financial standpoint, improving their transparency and launching different green marketing initiatives or campaigns isn't just ethical, but it's also a revenue strategy that could help increase the future success of the brand overall. And overall, although L.L.Bean is financially strong today, I believe that they still need to expand on their transparency as a company, as these publicly traded companies are a lot more transparent with the information that they share. And so L.L.Bean just really needs to do a better job at being transparent to their consumers, as consumers are expecting a lot more information as they were, let's say, 20 years ago. So now going over some of L.L.Bean's main competitors. So for this slide, I really wanted to focus on the competitors that are really closest to L.L.Bean with both their products that they have to offer as well as their overall brand positioning. So firstly, we have REI Co-op. And obviously, this is a unique company as their ownership is a co-op style. So this essentially means that members own a share of the company, And this allows them to have a lot of credibility and also allows for a lot of community focused initiatives. As you can see, they're around $3.7 billion in annual revenue for last year. So they're definitely a major player in the overall outdoor retail space. So next is Patagonia, probably the strongest brand when it comes to green initiatives. They're obviously a privately owned company, and they recently transitioned ownership, which is designed to protect the company's overall mission and donate profits towards environmental causes. They're smaller in revenue than some of these other companies. However, they're extremely influential in CSR and overall branding for different green initiatives. Then we have the North Face, which is part of a VF Corporation. So essentially, they're under a umbrella of other corporations such as Vans and Timberland. And this is because the scale is much bigger for North Face. So they bring in around $3.7 billion in revenue annually. It really depends on the year, but from what I saw, they got anywhere from 3 to 4 billion, but last year they got $3.7 billion in revenue. And they're a very strong company and one of the leaders in the outdoor retail space. Finally is Columbia Sportswear, and this is a publicly traded company that generated $3.47 billion in revenue last year. And they compete essentially like these other companies in every other category that L.L.Bean has to offer, from outerwear to footwear to camping gear and to home goods. So they also have a really big international presence as well. So when we look at this competitors list, what stands out to all four of these, is they all have a very strong, well-defined brand identity, and also a lot more transparency than L.L.Bean has. And this is exactly why improving transparency and strengthening the marketing initiatives around the bean boots would really help L.L.Bean stand out and stay competitive compared to these other brands. So now diving into overall consumer and industry trends. So when looking at the outdoor apparel industry right now, there are a few different trends that are really shaping consumer expectations, especially for brands such as L.L.Bean. So firstly, consumers are really prioritizing overall transparency and also green initiatives in their product lines. So people really want to know exactly where their products are coming from, what materials are being used, and how they impact the environment overall. And then this is especially true for these younger consumers, those Gen Z and also younger millennials who are actively researching brands before buying their products, as they want to make sure they're not partaking in any unethical practices in their business. There's also a huge push towards eco-friendly materials, which I briefly mentioned before. Things such as recycled polyester, organic cottons, responsibly tanned leathers, and also low-impact dyes. So competitors like Patagonia and REI have really made these green initiatives part of their identity, and also their overall transparency is really setting the bar for everyone else in this space. So L.L.Bean needs to be able to follow that as well. Another major trend is focusing on the overall durability and long-lasting product life cycle. So consumers really want products that are built to last, which I believe actually plays into L.L.Bean's strengths, as they've always been a company that's prided themselves on the durability and reliability of their product. And this is huge as overall consumer trends are shifting away from fast fashion and sort of going back to that I'll pay a premium for a product that's actually built to last. We're also seeing a growth in the secondhand clothing market, as well as the overall repair of old products. Again, I believe this really plays into L.L.Bean's strength, as, like I said previously, my mom works at the employee store and gets a lot of secondhand clothing from consumers who saw an issue with their product, or L.L.Bean produced the product themselves and there's actually a defect. So they sell these products back to the employees first, and then put them back on the shelves for the average consumer to purchase. And this has been great, as it's allowed me to get a lot of L.L.Bean clothing that might be upwards of $100, but my mom's been able to find some that go all the way down to $5, $10 for something that might normally be $100. So this is great, and they do an awesome job at that. So they're really not focusing on the profits for their secondhand market. They're really just focusing on their overall waste management and recycling. And going on to that, they have a great repair program for their bean boots, where they'll take in an old pair of bean boots that's been worn down, and they'll actually repair it for you for free. And I believe this is a great initiative. However, going further into that down the line in the presentation, we actually realized that there's not a lot of public information as to what goes into the repair program itself. So I again believe that L.L.Bean needs to do a much better job at their transparency overall. Also, with going back on consumer and industry trends, functionality and comfort continues to be a major driver of consumers. And again, this goes into the shifting away from fast fashion. So consumers really want products that are meant to last, and they're definitely willing to spend more of a premium. As we see that on the slide deck, more than 80% of consumers say that they're willing to spend more for sustainability. And finally, consumers really want authentic storytelling with brands. So brands that really communicate clearly and honestly, as well as consistently, especially around their green initiatives, are gaining more and more trust from consumers. And then companies that overstate their environmental claims or provide vague information are facing a lot more scrutiny, which unfortunately I believe that L.L.Bean sort of falls into that category, as they're sharing information, but they're not truly diving deep into that information. And so due to that, it could be a lot of potential green washing per se. I don't believe they're necessarily greenwashing, but definitely think that they need to increase their overall transparency so that this information is more open to the public, especially if they're going to be trying to compete more heavily with companies such as REI or Patagonia. And so overall, the industry is really moving towards transparency, green initiatives, and a long-lasting product life cycle. And then this is exactly why our CSR strategy for the bean boots aligns so well with where the market is currently headed. So now going over what green means to L.L.Bean. So when we really talk about what green means for L.L.Bean, it starts really by recognizing the reality of the apparel and footwear industry overall. And this industry has a major impact on the planet, from the different raw materials that are used in these products to the way that these products are made, and even what happens when these products are eventually thrown away or recycled. At the same time, these consumer trends and expectations are changing as people are looking for products that come from responsible sources, items that can be repaired instead of thrown away, and also that are built to last more than just a season or two. And again, I believe this plays directly into L.L.Bean's strengths as a company, as the brand is always really focused on making products that hold up after years of use, not that fast fashion that consumers are shifting away from currently. And that philosophy, again, really supports what today's consumers are asking for. And so for L.L.Bean, what green really means is designing with that long-term product stability in mind. They want to make products that last longer, reduce waste, and reduces replacement, as well as having a lighter impact on the environment overall. And then this also ties into their focus on the repair and reuse program that they have for the bean boots and other products. And again, their responsible materials choices are also a strength of the company. So going off of that, leaning into this approach really allows the brand to stay true to its identity while also meeting the modern expectations of consumers in the industry today. So now going over L.L.Bean's current green mission statement. So their current mission statement is as follows. L.L.Bean is committed to ensuring sustainable and responsible practices across our businesses, from the materials and vendors we work with to the causes that we support. So this is a pretty straightforward mission statement, and it really tells us that the company wants to align its operations with responsible decision making from all aspects of their business, from all the way from their sourcing to their community involvement. When we really break this down, it breaks down into four really big areas, which is protecting nature, responsible sourcing, supporting communities, as well as designing the products that really are durable. So these priorities, again, really reflect the company's overall goal as a business, which is being an outdoor focused company that's quality driven and really focuses on that reliability and durability of their products. And that also influences different community events and initiatives as well. It's also worth noting how this mission really impacts the business, as this statement almost acts as sort of a North Star where the business is looking to go. And it really guides their overall business operations from the different partners that they work with, the different packaging that they use, the materials that they're using for their products, as well as the supply chain as well. So for employees and vendors and consumers, this reinforces again that L.L. Bean really sees itself as a brand that values that durability and responsibility, as well as overall outdoor initiatives, not just in marketing, but also their core business operations. And overall, this mission statement really clearly defines what L.L. Bean stand for, which is again protecting the outdoors, making long lasting, durable products, and also supporting the people and places that are connected to the community and brand itself. So now just talking about how L.L. Bean's green initiatives aligns with the brand's financial strategy overall. So first, these efforts really help drive cost saving through operational efficiency. So things such as smarter material use, reduced waste, and more efficient packaging really helps lower the operating costs. Like I said before, L.L. Bean has a great secondhand clothing market, as well as their repair system for their different products. Specifically, the bean boots is really great. Uh, and L.L. Bean's already a company that really values that durability and repairability. So improving this really helps further their profitability and reduced waste as well. Secondly, the enhanced brand equity and customer loyalty. So, like I said before, today's consumers really, especially these younger consumers, those Gen Z and younger millennials, really want to support companies that take responsibility for their products, where their materials are sourced from, how they're being produced, and like again I said before, LL Bean really needs to be a lot more transparent about where their materials are coming from and how their products are made, as the brands really has that information out there. However, it's not the easiest to really access that information, and especially not easy to understand that information. And there's just not a lot of information. It's really baseline and doesn't really dive deep into it. So if I really wanted to figure out where that leather is coming from for my bean boots, it was really hard for me to find that information on where that was sourced. They had some very vague statements on their website saying that most of their leather was sourced from Maine, but they didn't expand on where in Maine that was. As we know, Maine's a very vast landscape, as it takes about 8 hours to drive from southern Maine to the top of Maine. So we really don't know where these materials are necessarily coming from. And I'd love for LL Bean to just continue that transparency in their brand overall. So it reinforces that trust and loyalty to their customers, and really differentiates the brand from those other companies who might also be struggling with transparency. So also there's a risk reduction and regulatory readiness. So the overall apparel and footwear industry is facing increasing scrutiny around specific materials and chemicals that are being used in the production, as well as different labor practices. And I feel like L.L.Bean isn't necessarily struggling from this in general, as they're using a lot of trusted materials from different trusted companies like Blue Sign Fabrics, and also their labor practices are monitored very well through different audits, and so I don't think they're necessarily struggling in that factor, but really just strengthening L.L.Bean's overall transparency and traceability for how their products are being made and distributed would really avoid any other reputation issues for the company. And finally, all of this really supports strategic and long term growth for the company. So, again, improving this transparency and traceability across the production line and recycling initiatives would really help boost L.L.Bean's product positioning or brand positioning, sorry, extremely well for the next 5 years and in the future. So, really, just it all comes down to overall transparency. So now going over some of L.L.Bean's core green efforts. So on this slide, I really wanted to go through a couple of things that L.L.Bean's already doing well when it comes to corporate social responsibility and overall environmental protection practices. So this has really been the foundation of the company that's really allowed them to grow as a brand. So firstly, their ethical sourcing of traceable materials and reliable suppliers. So L.L.Bean's working with suppliers that they trust overall, and they aim for materials that can be traced back to reliable sources, which helps ensure the overall quality and responsible production. And there's definitely, like I said before, some room for improvement in the overall transparency of this information to the public, as they know where these materials are coming from, but they don't do a great job at reflecting that information to the public and communicating that information. So I definitely do think, although they do use reliable materials and reliable suppliers, they definitely need to do a better job on the transparency of that to the overall public. Um, the product longevity of the products that are designed for decades of use. So, like I've said before in this presentation, one of L.L.Bean's strongest advantages as a company is the overall durability of their products, as these products are engineered to last, sometimes for decades. And this again really reduces their overall waste and the constant repurchasing of products, as they also do have the repair programs that I briefly talked about as well. And now going into the manufacturing responsibility and their efficient use of energy and waste reduction. So, like I said before, with the different repair programs and secondhand clothing options that they provide, they do a really great job of reducing their waste reduction. And they also ensure that these production processes are as clean and controlled as possible. Again, like I said before, through these internal audits where they also partner with third party auditing companies. And then these improvements help both the environmental and operational costs of the business as well. And finally, their corporate social responsibility by maintaining jobs in Maine and also providing safe working conditions for their employees. They've really invested heavily into the overall manufacturing and local communities that they help support through different community events and initiatives. And a significant portion of this production, especially with the bean boots, it happens in Maine in their production facility in Kennebunk, Maine, which again helps support the locals with jobs and ensures safe working conditions, as it's very close to home. So it makes it very easy for these auditors to get out there to their facilities and making sure that they're partaking in ethical practices as well. And this commitment to the overall community and the people that make L.L.Bean successful is a huge reason why the company is extremely credible and trusted from both its employers and its consumers. So now going over the green practices in L.L.Bean's supply chain. So in this slide, I really wanted to focus on how L.L.Bean is incorporating these green practices directly into their supply chain, and why this matters for their long-term success as a brand. So first, one of the big things to understand, like we've said before, is that L.L.Bean designs their products for durability and longevity. So their philosophy really is, if the product is designed to last long, it naturally reduces the overall waste of the company, because consumers aren't coming back to buy multiple pairs of clothing just because their other product rips or is defective. So obviously this is going away from the idea that most companies operate on, which is, let's say, for example, Apple, where they make your phone defective after about 3 to 4 years of use, so that way you need to go buy a new product as yours is operating slowly. So this is a business idea for Apple, as they really want consumers to come in and buy more and more of their products, whereas L.L.Bean's taking an opposite approach, where they're actually driving consumers away from buying repeat purchases, and they're actually focused on the durability and reliability of these products, so that consumers will trust the brand and want to buy other products from them in the future, not just the products that they currently owned. And so this is a great idea that L.L.Bean has really taken pride on in their business. So another key piece of the green practices in their supply chain is their testing is huge at L.L.Bean, and a lot of products testing is taken extremely seriously. They stress test the boots and apparel and make sure that the gear and products is really able to sustain for multiple years. And then this level of testing really ensures that they put into the supply chains to meet these standards before it even reaches the consumers. So they really want to focus on that product durability, so that these consumers aren't coming back for more and more of the same exact thing. Again, building that trust as a brand. The material selection is also another huge focus of L.L.Bean's supply chain. And they work really carefully and strategically to choose different suppliers and fabrics that align with the brand's values. Again, they don't look at just overall quality, which is something that they do pride themselves on, but also how these materials are being produced and where they come from. So that's where some of their major partnerships come in. So they collaborate with different organizations such as Blue Sign, Textile Exchange, and the Sustainable Apparel Coalition. And these groups really help companies ensure that the materials that they're using are made with lower impact, safe chemicals, and strong overseeing of these materials. So these partnerships essentially help guide L.L.Bean towards a much safer green practices in the supply chain, and also just overall better manufacturing decisions. Speaking again on the recycled materials, we're seeing a lot more of these recycled materials entering their supply chain. Things such as recycled polyester, recycled nylon, and even recycled rubber in certain products, as in their bean boots, where they take old bean boot soles and they sort of melt down that plastic and reuse them again for the new bean boots that they would produce. And so again, this recycling initiative that they're taking part of really, again, helps cut down the overall waste of the company. And along with the recycling initiatives that they're doing, they're also using a lot more responsible natural materials, things such as responsible down, standard certified down, and responsibly sourced cotton. These again are just ensures that the company's raw materials are coming from suppliers that both meet the ethical and environmental criteria of the brand and their values. So overall, these supply chain practices really help L.L.Bean uphold its brand's identity and vision, which is to make durable, reliable products, and also making smart choices on the materials and partners that they work with as well. So, now going over some of L.L.Bean's recent milestones towards green initiatives. So, in May 2021, the company donated $500,000 to the Ecology School, and this funding will help support the Riverbend Farms campus in Saco, Maine. And this initiative really focuses on hands on environmental education and is really a great example of how L.L.Bean is directly investing into the next generation of outdoor and environmental protection. Then in April 2022, they made a major move by announcing a 3-year, $3 million sponsorship with the National Park Foundation. And this initiative is called Parks of the Future, and it was meant to help preserve and modernize the U.S. national parks, and again aligns perfectly with L.L.Bean's brand identity, helping encourage people to go outdoors and protecting the earth in a whole. And then in May 2022, L.L.Bean put a big emphasis on wellness and outdoor time through their Off the Grid initiative for Mental Health Awareness Month. And so their initiative was for the company to pause all social media for the month, and they partnered with Strava to create an outdoor time challenge. And this wasn't about the company trying to sell more products or services, but was really about prioritizing outdoor time and mental health for all those in the community and around the globe. So this was actually huge for L.L.Bean, as they were the first major corporation to pause all social medias. That hadn't been done before, and ever since they've been doing this initiative every single time that it's Mental Health Month in May. So again, going over some more recent milestones towards sustainability for L.L.Bean. So in fall 2024, L.L.Bean officially eliminated all PFAS from all L.L.Bean labeled products. And so PFAS, if you're not familiar, are forever chemicals that consumers and regulators have been increasingly concerned about. So removing these PFASs from all of their products is a major step forward, and again aligns perfectly with the brand's identity, which is that they're willing to invest into safer materials, even when it requires changing up multiple different product lines and products that they have to offer. So next, in January 2022, they transitioned to 100% plastic-free outbound shipping. And again, this was a huge operational shift for the company, especially for a company that has a very big e-commerce presence and that sends out millions of packages every year. Not only does this help the company reduce waste, but it also, again, aligns with the overarching consumer trends and expectations from a leading outdoor brand like L.L.Bean. And finally, L.L.Bean reached their goal of reducing their greenhouse gas emissions at their facilities by 50%. And this is obviously a significant benchmark because it reflects long-term changes for the company, improvements in energy use, obviously gas emissions, and also just more efficient operations in general. Hitting that 50% mark again shows that they're committed, and not just greenwashing, but they're trying to change at all levels of the business. And together, all of these milestones really show the direction that L.L.Bean is trying to head, being a leader in the outdoor apparel industry and CSR expectations. They're constantly trying to change things in their product line and production line to really help support their brand as a whole and the identity that they support. So now going over L.L.Bean's CSR scorecard in 4 separate areas, first being energy. So all of L.L.Bean's main facilities operate entirely on renewable energy, and this is just a huge step in reducing their overall environmental impact across the company. And also recently they've upgraded to LED lighting and energy efficient HVAC systems, as well as installing solar panels at their headquarters, flagship stores, and select retail locations. And overall, this area receives a strong grade for their CSR scorecard. Now going into their overall water consumption. So when it comes to their water consumption through their supply chain, there's very limited information. But what I was able to find was that their water usage is relatively low. However, they tend to use a lot of water during their testing and production, but they do have some strict guidelines for water reduction when it does come to those factories. So, like I said, these factories will follow strict water reduction guidelines, and they also even use water-based adhesives in the bean boots to maximize the or minimize the toxic runoff. Sorry. And like I said, some of the testing can be water extensive because a lot of their product testing relies on the beating of the water to, again, um, provide that durable and reliable product. So, due to that, I say their grade is moderate, reflecting some good initiatives that they follow, but also there definitely is some room for improvement as well as just overall transparency. So now, continuing the CSR scorecard in the four areas, now tackling recycling. So L.L.Bean's packaging is made from 100% recyclable materials, and also certain stores will run different recycling programs, as well as their Bean Boot Repair program that's operated out of Maine. So they do a really good job at reducing the product waste, again, through those secondhand clothing options as well. Like I said, there's also store level recycling programs and mail packaging take back, which again just continues that recycling initiatives that they're proving that they want to reduce waste. And also just the overall durable and reliable products reduce the waste overall of their products. So I've ranked them a good on this scale. Again, there's just some room for improvement when it comes to the transparency of some of these initiatives, like their boot repair program. I just wish there was a little bit more information for the public on how that process is done. And now diving into the human rights section. So they're actually a member of the Fair Labor Association, which enforces a code of conduct to ensure fair wages and safe working conditions for supplier factories. And also their overall just long-term supplier relationship helps maintain ethical compliance. And so I'd give them a strong grade for this section as they're really focused on the overall well-being of their both employees and factory employees, and also really just pride themselves on having a good relationship with their suppliers and manufacturers. So now, when breaking down L.L.Bean's scorecard, it really highlights a strong performance in both energy use and human rights initiatives. It really reflects the company's commitment to, again, renewable energy, more efficient operations, as well as ethical labor practices and working conditions for their employees. So the water consumption is definitely the lowest on the list, as they don't really have a lot of public information into their water usage. So again, that just falls into the transparency category. While also their recycling efforts earn a good grade. However, they're not really exceeding the level that they should be, as they do have good recycling programs, packaging programs, and overall minimize waste. However, there's just not a lot of information as to when the actual products are destroyed, what happens to those products. There's not really a lot of public information on that, and so for that reason, I ranked them just a little bit lower, because there was definitely a lot more information on the overall human rights and energy sections as well. So now diving into some of L.L.Bean's biggest strengths in CSR. So firstly, durability equals natural sustainability. So as I've said previously in this presentation, L.L.Bean's products are really designed to last, which again naturally reduces the waste and need for frequent replacement. And again, I believe this longevity is a key strength in their key CSR efforts. However, again, like I've stated before, I do believe there's room for improvement with the transparency of these initiatives. Along with their ethical manufacturing standards, they really just maintain high ethical standards for their manufacturing, ensuring fair wages to the employees who work in these facilities, as well as providing safe working conditions and long-term supplier relationships that they've been able to keep to this date. And again, I believe this is a strength for them as they really have a good breakdown on the ethical compliances that these factories are held to, and those are stated very clearly and transparently. So now their renewable energy leadership. So L.L.Bean really leads in the renewable energy scene as, like I stated before, all of their main facilities operate on 100% renewable energy. And they've also incorporated solar panels, LED lighting, and energy efficient systems really company wide. And now going into their community engagement, another strength of their CSR initiatives. The company is constantly supporting different community initiatives such as donations to outdoor programs and also different partnerships that help promote environmental wellness and protection of Mother Nature. Like I said, with the partnership with Strava, where they are really emphasizing that outdoor time. And now to their return and repair programs. Again, these programs really help extend the life of products and encouraging the reuse and reducing the waste of these products. Again, believe this is a strength, but unfortunately, when looking at how these products are really broken down, there's not a lot of information as to how that's being done necessarily. It's very baseline and doesn't really allow full transparency. So definitely some room for improvement there. And then finally, their sustainable packaging. L.L.Bean has been transparent about this, that they use 100% recyclable packaging and also have some different store level recycling programs that will just further minimize the environmental impact of the business overall. So now speaking on some of the benefits of our strengths. So first, enhance brand loyalty. So really by focusing on the durability of our products and our ethical practices along with the responsible sourcing, we're constantly just building trust with customers, which really strengthens loyalty and encourages repeat purchases. Now diving into the competitive differentiation. So these CSR strengths really set L.L.Bean apart from competitors, highlighting the commitment to responsible business and overall just high quality, durable products, which some brands do a great job at. For example, Patagonia and REI, but we just want to be able to continuously improve that. So we believe that's a big benefit of our strengths. And now reduced environmental impact. So obviously, like I've said previously, these durable products and sustainable packaging, along with renewable energy initiatives, all contribute to really minimizing that environmental impact of the company. And then going on to the operational efficiencies, again, these different repair programs and recycling programs really help operational efficiency while also reducing the costs. And then also positive employee engagement, as lots of L.L.Bean employees really take pride in working for the company and typically aligns well with their values as well. And then finally, a goodwill reputation. So overall, these strengths really help enhance L.L.Bean's reputation as a supporter in the overall environmental protection and also supporting different communities as well as industry partners. So all of these are great benefits to our strengths. So now to go over some of L.L.Bean's biggest weaknesses in CSR. So first, focusing on their material sourcing challenge. So some of these materials that they use for their products, specifically the bean boots, being leather and rubber, both have significant environmental and ethical impacts. And there's also, just like I've said before, limited information as to how sustainably they're sourced. Also, speaking on that, there's a very big lack of data and transparency in specific key areas. Most of this information, since they're a private company, is really not publicly shared through information on the full product life cycle, overall factory conditions, or supply chain practices. It's kind of just up to the consumer to assume that the company is doing this as they're stating it, but there's not a lot of reliable transparency or data supporting these claims. So it could be viewed as potential greenwashing for some consumers. Also, just overall green marketing reach. They definitely do highlight green initiatives, but their marketing doesn't really communicate in depth of their efforts, so many consumers might not be aware of them. Uh, Similarly to that point, I didn't really know about this mental health initiative that they've done every year for the month of May for Mental Health Awareness Month. I feel like they really need to be able to communicate that better, as I follow L.L.Bean on social medias, and I honestly didn't know that they paused social media for the entire month. So I feel like they should definitely do a better job at promoting these different initiatives. And then finally, just a lack of quantified goals for the company. The company definitely has some specific goals and milestones that they want to achieve. However, they really don't make it easy to track this progress that they're heading towards, and they kind of just uh, state their claims and then go back to it at the end of the year through their reports. And I just love a lot more transparency from the company, as I'm sure there are a lot of other consumers that really want to be able to keep track of what they're currently doing as a company. So now diving into the impacts of these weaknesses. So firstly, the environmental impact. Obviously, there are challenges with the material sourcing and limited transparency of where those materials are being sourced. So this can lead to higher environmental footprints if inefficiencies or harmful practices aren't addressed by the company. Also, there's a overall reputational risk, as a company that really should be focusing on being transparent with consumers. Without this clear data or even measurable goals, L.L.Bean risks criticism from consumers, as they could be viewed as potentially greenwashing, which could ultimately damage the brand's reputation. Also, just overall competitive disadvantage. While other outdoor brands are a lot more transparent and measurable with their CSR efforts, such as Patagonia and Columbia or the North Face, for example, uh, they're a lot more transparent and communicative for their consumers. And these initiatives may appeal more to the eco conscious consumers, really putting L.L.Bean at a disadvantage if they can't learn to really be transparent with all their initiatives. So, also, finally, losing consumer engagement overall. Obviously, if L.L.Bean consumers don't understand their green initiatives, and these initiatives aren't being transparently communicated, they may lose engagement from their customers and also reduce the overall loyalty and long term support for the brand, which could damage the brand greatly. So, now going over why these weaknesses must be addressed. Firstly, there are rising market expectations as these consumers, like I said before, the especially younger generation, are increasingly expecting this transparency, overall ethical sourcing, and responsible business practices across the business. So, addressing these weaknesses must meet these growing expectations from consumers. Also, there are increasing laws and regulations as different governments and environmental protection agencies are imposing stricter rules around the overall environmental impact and supply chain accountability as well. So, improving these CSR practices will really help L.L.Bean stay ahead of the curve, and also just overall compliance requirements given by the government and these agencies. So, as well as protecting consumer trust as well, this transparency and measurable goals helps build trust with consumers. So obviously, like I've said in the presentation so far, L.L.Bean's clearly struggling with overall transparency, and this again could just damage the brand's image and loyalty to their customers as well. And finally, there's just a long-term competitive advantage that goes along with this. So by tackling these areas, L.L.Bean can really help support their brand and what it stands for. And it really just all comes down to um, matching up with their competitors and really being transparent about all of their different initiatives and how their materials are being sourced and produced and everything that goes into that. So now diving into the product focus of this presentation, which is the bean boots. So originally, this company started by selling the main hunting shoe or duck boot, which again later became known as the bean boot, more famously known as. So the purpose and design of this boot was to really focus on creating a durable and comfortable hunting boot that could endure Maine's wet and also cold conditions. So the construction of this boot really focuses on featuring a leather upper, a rubber lower, and all these boots are actually hand stitched for strength and longevity. And for the CSR connection to the product, this dedication for overall durability and reliability for the Bean Boot product has really strengthened LL Bean's brand reputation as what they stand for, which is really reliable and responsible products. And then showing this in the early stages of their brand has really helped align their company to continue with their CSR efforts in the future. So now going over the current environmental impact of the bean boots. So starting with their material sourcing impact. So obviously, these bean boots, like I said, use leather and rubber, which have pretty significant environmental impacts, including water usage, chemical treatments, as well as just being overall energy intensive. And then going into the manufacturing footprint, well, obviously, much of the assembly is done in Maine. The manufacturing process still consumes energy and resources, which obviously we know is 100% renewable energy, but there obviously still is an impact going into that as well. The transportation and supply chain next. So these materials are often sourced from different regions and obviously shipping the finished products and uh, just going through trucks, cars, planes. This obviously reduces or increases carbon emissions across the supply chain as in order to transport these products, they're actually increasing the emissions. So next, going on to the product life cycle. Obviously, like we've said in, or I've said in this presentation, bean boots are designed for durability, which really helps reduce the waste over time. But the full life cycle impacts, including the end of life disposal, aren't really displayed to the public as they really just focus on their repair system for these boots. And they don't really say what they do with the boots that aren't able to be fully repaired. So that again falls down to transparency and communication. And then finally, the packaging and waste. So L.L. Beans made major improvements with their recycled packaging, as 100% of their packaging is now recycled. However, additional waste from shipping and materials still contributes to that overall environmental impact of the bean boots. So now going over L.L. Bean's current marketing message for their bean boots. So obviously a lot of this marketing highlights the heritage and craftsmanship, as you can see from the quote to the right, where they say, "Still sewn right here in Maine, one pair at a time by expert craftspeople." So this again really just emphasizes their long-standing commitment to overall durability and reliability with their products. And going more into that durability, they really stress durability and reliability of their products by pointing out the use of the rugged full grain leather and also the waterproof rubber, as well as the triple needle stitching to really ensure that long lasting outerwear. And then outdoor performance, obviously, they need to market the fact that bean boots have great performance outside and in harsh conditions. for their built for rain, snow, and unpredictable weather, keeping your feet dry and warm. However, I put green marketing at the bottom because while they're really good at marketing the fact that these boots are durable and reliable, there really isn't a strong focus on really communicating the fact that these materials are being sourced ethically, as well as being produced by their manufacturers ethically. So again, I believe there's definitely room for improvement for some green marketing, as I'm sure consumers really want to know where they're getting this leather, where they're getting this rubber, and how it's really being produced. So this slide, I just wanted to briefly show a few examples of some advertisements. So obviously the one on the left is from the 1900s, and you can see now how advertising has changed in recent, as before most advertising is simply just what looks like a newspaper advertisement. Now companies are moving more towards digital advertising of products. So L.L.Bean has a full video on their YouTube channel in regards to the design of their legendary bean boot. So I feel like this is important to note as well on how to market these different products, as today digital advertising is really at the top of the charts. So some key public statements regarding bean boots. So their first one, a Maine-made, weather-ready boot customers love, now even more comfortable and durable, and in half sizes too. So again, this message reinforces the comfortability and durability that L.L.Bean has to offer with their products. Next, going over, we've been resoiling well-loved bean boots for over 100 years, reducing waste and creating more adventures. Again, this goes into the overall repair and longevity of their product, as they emphasize that they've been doing it for over 100 years and reducing waste while extending the life of each pair. Again, this is crucial for L.L.Bean's consumers, as they're very conscious about reducing the overall waste. And then for the customer testimonial, this testimonial is, after testing a pair of women's 8-inch bean boots for myself in the frigid sub-zero temperatures in snowy Maine, incidentally the home base of L.L.Bean, I can confirm that these boots are deserving of such popularity and acclaim, which again just shows that what is being marketed for the bean boots is what comes with the product, and that's very reliable, warm in the cold temperatures, and also very reliable and durable as well. So now highlighting the bean boot life cycle analysis, so starting with their raw materials. Obviously, like stated before, the bean boots are manufactured with materials such as leather, rubber, and metal for the different eyelets where the laces go in. So each has a different environmental and ethical challenge when considering the sourcing of these materials. So going into the manufacturing, these boots are obviously hand-stitched, like said before, and assembled in Maine, using energy and labor to produce durable, high-quality products. Diving into now the packaging and distribution. So once these boots are packaged, they use different recycled materials and are shipped to stores and the consumers. Again, like I stated before, the transportation of these products also increases the emissions, which adds to L.L.Bean's environmental footprint. Now going into the consumer use of these products, obviously during the use, the boot's durability helps reduce the waste, as well as their repair program that they have in place for when your boots do eventually break. So that different repair system that they have, again, just really helps improve the overall product life cycle analysis. But like I said previously in this presentation, there really isn't a lot of public information as to how these bean boots are really recycled and repaired. It's very baseline information, and it's not very accessible to the public. So now when benchmarking against our competitors, so obviously The Bean Boot is synonymous with L.L.Bean's brand identity, as when anyone thinks of the company L.L.Bean, likely the first thing that they think of is the Bean Boot. And similarly to Timberland, that's a very big company, actually located in New Hampshire as well, so very close by in competitiveness. They operate with the same sort of values that L.L. Bean prides themselves on, which is the reliability and durability of their products. So we believe that this is a huge competitor, especially when in regards to the bean boots. And then Patagonia is just an overall leader in CSR efforts when it comes to outdoor apparel brands. So I've also included their line of boots. And one of the big differentiators from LL Bean compared to these other two companies is that the average price of the Bean Boot is a lot cheaper than these other models, whereas Timberland prices most of their boots around $200. LL Bean will be priced more around $150, and Patagonia even exceeding $400 for some pairs of shoes, but mostly around $300 for a pair of work boots. So now, why bean boots are the ideal CSR focus for this project? So obviously, this was their flagship product and is their most iconic product. It's instantly recognizable and ties in closely to the brand's identity, making that a natural focal point for the CSR project. Obviously, there are opportunities for measurable impact in certain areas of the production and manufacturing of these bean boots. This is because obviously they use materials such as leather, rubber, and they're also hand stitched. And so obviously there's better ways that the company can use to track the sourcing of these materials, as well as improve the overall environmental and ethical impact of sourcing these materials. Then next, like I said before, the Bean Boot is really synonymous with LL Bean's whole brand, as when you think of LL Bean, you think of the Bean Boots. So that I believe that this would directly reflect the brand as a whole if they were able to make improvements to the process of how these bean boots are manufactured and sourced for the materials. And then finally, it could be the perfect CSR blueprint for the entire product line, going all the way from our footwear to our apparel, all the way to our outdoor gear. If we start with our flagship product and are really being communicative and transparent with our findings and how these materials are being sourced, along with how these materials are being recycled and repaired, I believe that would be a great thing for the company to really focus on, is just really that transparency. So now, what must change to meet future CSR demands? So firstly, stronger transparency and traceability is key. Like I've been stating throughout the presentation, the company is really lacking in their transparency of this product, and consumers and stakeholders are increasingly expecting clear and detailed information as to where the materials are coming from, how these products are made, and also the different environmental impacts at each stage throughout the organization. The company also needs to be able to adopt more recognized eco certifications. And this is just because these certifications or partner companies that they can work with really just helps validate the company's claims and goals as they try to continuously meet these consumer demands. And although they are using different organizations such as Blue Sign and the Textile Exchange, they still need to be able to adopt more of these certifications to, again, just increase that trust and transparency as a business. They also need to have better tracking of the supply chain, which, not saying they don't have good tracking of the supply chain. However, they just need to be able to communicate that to the public. Simply just sharing where they have factories located just simply isn't enough. I believe they should be able to clearly communicate where their leather is being sourced from, where they're getting their rubber from, where they really don't really expand on that information as much as they should. And then finally, durability just simply isn't enough. While the longevity of these products helps reduce the waste, it's no longer just viable to be doing that by itself. L.L.Bean really needs to be able to pair their durable products with also transparent communication through their sourcing and also environmental impact to again just meet the evolving expectations of both consumers and shareholders, as well as just keeping up with the trends in the marketplace compared to our competitors. So now to go over the proposed 5-year strategy for L.L.Bean, which really focuses on addressing the gaps, like I've stated in the presentation, which is the gaps in transparency, overall supply chain tracking, as well as the marketing for the L.L.Bean bean boots. So recommendation 1 with better transparency. That's the first recommendation to increase this transparency across the material sourcing, manufacturing process, as well as the product lifecycle and repair program that they have in place. And this kind of includes just sharing more details overall with the consumers about how these products are made and where these materials are coming from, as there's really not a lot of public information on this. For recommendation 2, the supply chain tracking, I'm recommending implementing better tracking of these supply chains. Not saying that they don't do a good job already, but they could do a lot better, just really making sure that the consumers know where these things are coming from, because it really just falls into that better transparency. Their supply chain tracking is overall pretty good as they comply with regular auditing. However, they don't really share this information to the public as much as they should, since they're a private organization. And then finally, the new green marketing campaign for Bean Boots. I suggest launching a new green marketing campaign that really focuses on that information, again, falling back into that pool of transparency, just communicating to the consumer where the leather is being sourced, where these boots are being produced and how they're being produced, as well as more information into the different repair programs and how exactly these boots are being repaired and what happens to them at the end of life once they're no longer able to be repaired anymore. And the overall goal of this strategy is just to strengthen L.L.Bean's CSR efforts, enhance consumer trust, as well as create a model for the business that will be able to provide long-term growth for the organization as well. So recommendation 1, like I said, is just better transparency overall. So right now there's just a lot of limited public information about the bean boots and the details, such as like the sourcing, where this leather, rubber, and materials are coming from. It's just not very widely shared information for the company. And most of the life cycle analysis information really focuses only on the refurbishing of the products, which really leaves the full environmental impact unclear to the consumer. So by really improving this transparency and clearly communicating this to the consumers, L.L.Bean can really continue to help build trust and show the responsible practices behind their products. So now going over why this better transparency matters. So as I've said throughout the presentations, today's consumers, those younger generation of millennials and Gen Z, really want proof, not just promises, about a product's environmental and ethical impact. And without full transparency, L.L.Bean really risks accusations of potential greenwashing, especially when competitors such as Patagonia, REI, and the North Face are already raising the bar for transparency. So to have clear, verified information on where these materials are sourced and produced not only builds the trust of L.L.Bean's consumers, but also strengthens the impact of their green marketing efforts, which I'll talk about in a later slide. So now for recommendation number 2, which is better supply chain tracking. So L.L.Bean really just needs to track the entire supply chain from its raw materials and where they're being sourced to finishing the products, all the way down to the refurbishing of these products. And this really just comes down to the communication and disclosing where these materials are coming from, as they're regularly doing audits to ensure that these ethical environmental standards are being met with the coinciding laws and regulations. However, they don't really do a great job at communicating this information to the public. This could come down to the fact that it is a privately traded company, so they don't need to share this information. However, as a leader in the outdoor apparel industry and the competitors really raising the bar for this transparency, it really comes down to just clear communication with the consumers and the stakeholders. So now, why supply chain tracking matters for L.L.Bean? It's because consumers, especially for the outdoor retail space, are increasingly expecting to know where these products are coming from. And supply chain tracking really aligns with L.L.Bean's goal of being a CSR leader, and also helps strengthen the ethical compliance across suppliers. And as I said, they're already doing regular audits for these different factories and production facilities. However, this information is just really not being communicated. So that brings it into the final point, that it really makes this reporting and communicating to the public a lot more easy when they're regularly doing these audits and communicating this information to their consumers, as they really want to know what's being done for these products. So now for recommendation number 3, which is a new green marketing campaign for the bean boots. So the idea of this is to use full transparency of where these products are being sourced, to the manufacturing and distribution and repair, as a key selling point, sharing the really complete story of the bean boot, as again, consumers are really expecting this information to be shared. And by doing this, the journey of the bean boot will really become synonymous with the product itself, as the product is already synonymous with L.L.Bean. So this again reinforces L.L.Bean's commitment to responsible practices overall throughout the supply chain. So now going into why this new marketing campaign matters. So this campaign will really be highlighting full transparency and communication with our consumers. And this will really deepen that trust and differentiate L.L.Bean from less transparent competitors. However, it is important to note that competitors such as Patagonia and REI are a lot more open in the communication of these findings, as they're both companies that aren't privately held, but actually are publicly owned and a co-op, which means that the consumers are actually part of the ownership in the organization. And it also can help guard against potential greenwashing claims and increase the overall marketability by clearly communicating the responsible practices that go into the bean boots. So again, it just is all coming down to communication, and we really need to be able to let the consumers know where this leather is coming from, how it is being sourced, including the rubber and how that's being sourced, how it's being recycled, and all of that needs to be put into the bean boots story as to why this is so important for the company, as we want this to be the stepping stone for the rest of the product line, so that way each product line will have its own individual story as to where these materials are being sourced, how they're being produced, and how they're being recycled. So now going into the projected impact of these recommendations. So implementing these recommendations can really help L.L.Bean build stronger brand trust and allow for them to operate with a more premium pricing, which can also help increase their sales, as we know 80% of consumers are willing to spend more on products that show sustainability efforts. And this will also help reduce operational risks, help improve ESG ratings, and also enable a more compelling brand storytelling. And overall, these efforts will really just help L.L.Bean's long-term positive impact for their business and overall reputation as a leader of CSR efforts in the outdoor retail space. So now, why this strategy is necessary for the next 5 years. So obviously, like I've stated, there's been rising consumer expectations on transparency and overall accountability for CSR efforts, and this will only continue to rise, as well as there's constantly changing laws and regulations that involve stricter accountability when it comes to the communication and transparency of these findings. So that would be good for L.L.Bean to do to, again, avoid greenwashing claims, as well as how the overall market is moving towards full transparency. L.L.Bean is definitely falling behind compared to competitors such as Patagonia or REI when it comes to full transparency and communication with their consumers. So if L.L.Bean was to adopt this strategy, I believe that they'd be able to see improved financial growth and also gain more opportunities in the future while also staying on track with their competitors such as Patagonia and REI. So, overall, I believe this strategy lays out a clear new path for L.L.Bean directly addressing their transparency and supply chain issues through communication with their consumers. And by implementing this proposed 5 year plan, the company can really secure long term success while also strengthening the brand and positioning L.L.Bean for a more responsible and competitive future. Thank you so much.